Okay, 6th of May trading. You see, I'm only interested in going long. Okay, right here, I'm going along with that first presented fair gap at 9:30. Just aiming for that, opening range gap midpoint. But the fact that we had displacement, from the lower quadrant of the opening range gap, so it's like a either my stop or my profit scenario. And right now, as you can see, I got stop out, but no problem. Just typing out that it took another short-term low again. So that to me is another accumulation for smart money, absorbing the sell stops. So right now I'm just typing, just waiting for signatures of price to trade higher, waiting for time, which is now is the 9:50 macro. So basically, the blue shaded area is a hourly inversion fair value gap, and yesterday that was my whole trade framework. If I want it to trade higher, it's going to have to do it from here, and you can see the price was not accelerating lower towards the new week opening gap of 30th of March, and then we had this nice displacement. So immediately, I'm just looking at that old rejection block that I throughout, and I say I don't want to see it act as an inversion. So which means I don't want it to act like a resistance, like what it's doing right now. Just checking on intermarket, and I highlighted that CV that I'm looking at that right now, whether it acts as an inversion failure gap or not. And yep, just noting out the opening range highs and lows. So right now, from that small little failure gap, it displays right up, so we do not want to see it trade back into that CB, which act as an inversion failure gap right now, and I want to see it smoke the rejection block. And why I was cautious is because we have this 5-minute balance price range here, so I want to see it really power through. That's why I'm writing 50-50. And we see that the BC is not fully filled, and we have that SMT with Nasdaq. So I'm trusting all these things that market is tipping his hand to go lower, and just using that gray pool, just looking at observing at it, how he want keeps price higher or lower, and it perfectly respected the rejection block, reclaimed rejection block, and then displaced from the gray pool area. And right now we are above the first presented fair gap. So to me, that is a green light for me that okay, right now I believe we are in the buy program, and I type it out right there. As you can see, everything is outlined right before it takes place. So yeah, so my expectation and market is quite aligned right now. So just looking for an entry, and when I see it touch that low of that shaded blue area, the emergent fair gap, reclaim CB, I immediately felt like okay, price is going to run. So I'm just keep trailing my buy limit order to get my fill, because I don't really do buy market order. And yep, we got our entry with that emergent fair gap. So basically, what I was doing is just using any premium array or discount array to just get in sync with this move that I am anticipating it might happen right now. So right there, we have buy side and sell side delivery. That's a balanced price range, and price displays from it, so that confirms the balanced price range. So my stop is shifted, risk is reduced right now to just 3 points. I'm looking at that 1st of April, first presented fair value gap. I want to see how price behaves in it, and price touched the top of it, and I just put my TP higher because we are seeing several fair value gaps not filled. So unfilled gaps are like rocket fuel. So there we go. Initial target is tagged, which is the midpoint of the opening range gap. Yeah, so far so good. So midpoint of the first presented fair gap of 1st of May is also tagged. So yeah, just measuring it out and just looking right now, do we close above the midpoint of the opening range gap? And it does not do so, and it keep hovering up there. So yeah, I basically just shift my stop loss higher just to secure some profit. And right there, the last move was just because that I just asked myself that will I be uncomfortable um, holding on to the trade if it retraces. Am I comfortable? Although I did secure like 10 points, and because I'm in the losing streak, and to me it's just that I have not grown towards holding big runs yet. So because I don't have any partials to take, so I decided to just throw my stop loss up towards that balance price range. So first trade -$27 and second trade +60. So this day was a net $33. Okay, so for today's trade, it was quite a good session. Okay, it was a low resistance run, and yeah, after so many losing streaks, so many losing trades, I finally got a winning trade. And at first it started out with a loss, but then I still waited patiently to see whether if my trade idea is still valid or not, and it turns out to be still valid. So right at 10 o'clock during the 9:50 macro, I decided to trade it, and I managed to mitigate my losses and back like $33. And yeah, this trade just made me realize that the ability to hold on to trades. Clearly, I'm still not there yet, and I'm not saying that I want to hold on to trades, but having only one contract don't allow me to take partials. So the only thing I can do is trail my stop loss, manage my stop loss, and when it reached to a point where it was right at the opening range gap midpoint, when it reached there, I decided not to take profit right there, because my initial draw is still further, and we had price signatures showing us that it is likely to be quite strong, and it did went above where I wanted to reach, but it stopped me out first because I trailed my stop loss. I strangled my trade in a way, but looking back right now, I think I did the right thing, because whenever you have that King Kong feeling, okay, like, because I realized one thing is like, first I was just very focused on price, but then at some point when it's like 13-14 points, I started pulling out the trading panel to see how much am I in profit. So I realized that, and I had to do something to manage it. So I just trailed my stop loss, because there's only two things to do right now. But whenever I feel the King Kong feeling, okay, either I just cut the trade, back all the profits, or either I hold on to it but secure more profits. And I did the latter, because I just decided that it's good to just stretch away a bit
from my own comfort zone. So, but without needing to be right and be profitable. So striving to be wrong and profitable, and that's what I did. So I just trade my stop loss. I pull it up to where I do not want to see price return back, because definitely there's time behind and I expect expansion and it's quite close to the draw on liquidity. And in the end, I realized another thing is when I decided not to take profit, okay, I did not identify more low hanging fruits for me to take off my profit. So that is one thing I can improve on. But my draw on liquidity, I had a draw on liquidity. Okay, I was looking for longs only. I was looking for higher prices only, and I waited for the setup. And yeah, overall the trade was a good session. It was a good trade. Rules were followed. Okay, nothing was break. And yeah, I stretched a bit out of my comfort zone, because if you want to be able to hold on to big runs, you just have to grow into it. And currently that's what I'm doing. So I'm no longer taking 5 points a day, because taking out 5 points a day every day like that, it don't really suit me. Okay, I don't really like to trade like that. I feel like I'm pressing myself into a mold, and I've been studying price for so long, so I don't think that I should force myself to do something that I'm not comfortable with. And right now, using this leverage, everything is going pretty well, pretty good, and I'm just trading. And yeah, even in profits, there's still that constant thinking of what if I lose all these unrealized profits. So it's very important to guard the mind, and that's what I did immediately. So yeah, I have to be very sensitive with what I feel when I'm managing the trade. And when my analysts say that we are in troubled waters, I always, first thing is to reduce risk, and that's what I did also. And when it is in our favor, like this kind of trade, it is also very important to remove the need of being right to be profitable. So yeah, I trailed the stop loss towards where I feel comfortable getting stop out, and also it is a balanced price range, because there was like 3 weeks right there, and you guys can see in the trade review. So yeah, I'm pretty happy, and I realized that right now quite patient. I mean, I have always identified that I'm too patient until I miss a lot of low risk entries, but right now I'm working on it, and I can see that yeah, I'm tackling it. So pretty happy with it. And the first 2 entries you can see in the trade reviews, I did not think I missed it, because those are sort of a confirmation for me, because of the 5-minute balance price range. I needed to see price punch through with speed and magnitude, or else it's probably going to just go lower towards the new opening gap. So yeah, that's it for this trade, and I'll see you guys in the next